Similar to week one, you got to prepare for multiple quarterbacks. What are the differences between Jordan Travis and Tate Rodemaker?
Travis is playing at a high level. I'm not saying that the backup's not, but I think Travis is playing. When he played us last year, I thought he played pretty well. I thought he threw the ball about as well as he had, and then as you watch him progress after that, he kept getting better and better. First couple games, he's been dynamic with his legs. Keeps plays alive. He's throwing the ball better. He's tough because he's taking some shots. I have a ton of respect for him. He kept getting back up. That one targeting call, I don't know if you guys saw it in LSU. He takes a shot to the head and he throws a touchdown on it and he gets right back up. So he's a tough kid. So I wouldn't be surprised if he played this week at all. Just watching that and seeing him, but he much improved. I think he's playing as well as any quarterback in the ACC right now. 18 came in and it looks like he has good size. He showed a third down. He took the edge. He looked pretty fast too. So obviously we got to prepare for him running it as well. Strong arm. Maybe the strongest arm that I've seen so far this year on tape, just watching him throw the ball and release it. And then look what he did. He made some mistakes early in that game, and then he came in, and at the end of the game, he made some huge plays, some huge third down conversions, and they rallied back and they won the game. Very talented at wide receiver, very deep at wide receiver. I know they brought in some players and added to their depth. So they're playing a lot of guys. Obviously, the giant out there is a big man and played really well against Louisville. Fast backs. The offensive line is big and powerful and strong. It's a good football team, really good team, and well coached. Mike does a good job.
Back to the receivers, though. Looks like T. Wilson is a deep threat, and the other kid, Wilson, looks like a possession.
Number 4?
Yeah.
Number 4 is kind of built like a back, strong, good, run after the catch, plays really hard, blocks downfield. All their receivers block well downfield. I think it's a well-coached unit. But you look at 11. 11's a guy, too, that can kind of do it all. I think it's a solid, deep group of guys that can run. They have a combination of speed, shiftiness, and then obviously size. Their tight end is a good football player. We saw him play last year. He's athletic, can catch the ball. I think this is his fifth year. He's been there for a while now. But they're very talented on offense. They're very explosive, and we saw that last year.
We got a bit of momentum running the ball in the second half against Maine. What did you learn from that game going forward to future games?
Well, we found some things that we feel like our guys do pretty well, and we need to keep doing that and keep coaching them. Different scheme this week. Throw a few new wrinkles in there, but keep building off that last drive, that last half, and hopefully with some of the experience with some of those guys, they continue to gel as a unit. Ozzie practiced today. He didn't do everything, but he was out here today practicing. So I'm hopeful tomorrow we can ramp him up even more on Thursday, and then I'm hoping that we'll have him back. And that's not a slight to any of the guys that we have in there right now, but I think everybody knows how important Ozzie is playing for us right now. So I just think that's a group that, and we've said it, they just need to keep playing, getting experience, and kind of gel. And, hopefully they'll continue to improve.
Coach, just dealing with the atmosphere. We heard the music playing, but can you take anything from Virginia Tech to kind of implement it this week?
Yeah, experience. What went well in the game, what we needed, what we didn't need. I'm assuming it will be just as loud, if not louder. I think the stadium's bigger, right? And I'd imagine a night game sellout for them, and obviously the music and the band will be doing their deal the whole game. Just the comfort level we had with what we did. Were there any changes to it that we feel like we need to do better? Just the experience of already doing it once this year. I'm hopeful that will help. But we've cranked it up again.
Some new faces up front for that defensive line, but it's still a menace like last year. What jumps out about that unit?
Athleticism, speed. The one defensive end who transferred in, number 5.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an impressive guy. Their defensive tackles are very active, very athletic. We saw that last year. It's a good group. It's a solid group, and we're very aware of that.
Have you talked to Jaden at all this week, or is it pretty much just like any other game for him now?
This is the second go-around for him. Probably be a little bit easier for him this go-around. I'm sure he was pretty anxious last year, the first time playing his whole team. But he's going back to the stadium, so it's just, he's a really mature kid. And I think he'll handle it in a really positive way. He had a really good day today. I mean, you guys have been around him enough. I mean, he's as good as it gets as a person and mature, and I'm confident he'll be able to handle it. But I'm sure it'll be pretty emotional with him walking back into the stadium. I mean, it's just human nature, and you can't fault him for that.
Not sure if you can talk about him or not, but big commitment over the weekend with Josiah Griffin. Just if you can.
I'm not. You'll get me
I
in trouble. The one thing I'll say, and give credit to the staff, they've continued to recruit throughout, and it's been a good couple of days for us. I appreciate the staff, and we need to build that. We need to build that for the future, and we're going to continue to attack that as hard as we can. But legally, I can't answer your question, so I apologize.
So Vinny had a forced fumble against Maine, but we haven't seen a lot of forced fumbles this year. Is that something you guys?
We've actually forced 2 in the first game. If you remember, the 1 sack fumble, we would have had in positive territory. We were just inches away, and it went out of bounds. Later in that first game, they run a jet sweep. We blitz. We knocked that one out, and we just missed getting that one. Virginia Tech week on the punt, we knocked that one out, and we don't. So those are 3 I mentioned right there that don't go in the stats because we didn't recover them. But our guys are swinging. They are. And, I think we won the turnover battle 3-0 last week. So hopefully some of those fumbles will start bouncing our way a little bit. But, Rich, they're doing everything they can on that side to punch, attack the ball, and try to force turnovers. I know that. I mean, that's stressed as much as anything.
And this is a bit of a simple question, but how important is a fast start for this week's game? You guys kind of gotten off to slow starts. You usually like to defer, but you've gotten the ball first the last couple of weeks.
It's really important. It's very smart. I actually talked to the team about that today. We started really slow last week. Within the first 4 plays of our defensive series, we made 3 completely uncommon mistakes that our guys need to settle in and start faster. Same with special teams. We need to start fast. We need to start fast on offense. The first play of the game on offense, we had one of our offensive linemen. It was a 5-man box, and he didn't block the guy in front of him, and that's why Phil got hit. If we block that guy in front of him, so the starting fast is huge. I talked about that today in practice. I talked about it in team meeting. And it's not like this rah-rah, start fast emotion. It's lock in early and execute at a high level early in the game. It's going to be key, especially at a place where momentum, crowd, it'll be very important. So that's a really good question.
I guess one more on special teams. Obviously, they're punting. You've mentioned wanting to get Danny and Sam involved. Is that more of an emphasis going forward after a week like last week, or is that just kind of a fluke for Danny, you think?
With the one bad punt he hit?
Yeah, just a couple of bad punts there.
No, I have trust in Danny. I mean, he's really punted the ball really well and pretty consistently. It's just, the one got away from him. I mean, you could turn on the game on Sundays and you see some guys just mishit a punt. You turn on plenty of those games Sundays. I mean, I saw him miss extra points, miss field goals. It's just, we got to try to do our best, and we got to do better. But I'm not gonna pull a guy for that one punt. He's been too consistent, and he's had a good year so far. So I got his back, and I'm right behind him.
It's a quick follow to that. Is special teams something that's kind of like the offensive line? It just gets better with more experience. Or is that something you have set right out of camp?
Well, you continue to move guys in and out. You saw we played a lot of younger guys on special teams. Like Q right now has been probably our best special teams player.
Okay.
So that's a guy who suddenly has found a huge role in all of our special teams and will continue going forward. I think our special teams week 1 and week 2 were really solid, and I think early in the game last week we took a step back. So we have to start fast. Special teams are huge.
Yeah.
I mean, field position's everything. It's points. It's all the hidden yardage. So we need to play better on special teams for sure. You guys good?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks.
Have a good day.